In this video, let's look at restaurant menus and talk about the visual qualities and tips for formatting using Adobe Illustrator. These are some of the main menu sizes: letter, legal, and tabloid. Some specialty menus, maybe for beverages or desserts or cocktails, are these sizes: half letter size, 5.5 by 8.5, and a tall narrow, which would be 4.25 by 11 inches. And a very common takeout menu size is a trifold, which is 8.5 by 11, or it might also be 4.25 by 11 inches. Now let's look at and talk about some qualities of restaurant menus and look at some examples. So a restaurant menu should be easy to read and organized. There should be clear section headings. So as we look through these, you'll notice each section has a nice large heading and maybe a different color. Maybe you want to play with the design and the typography or adding colored elements. A restaurant menu should also have a good use of white space. So think about holding this menu in your hands. You do not want your hands to cover up information, and the information should also be organized. So you can see, for instance, on this middle one, how they're using plenty of white space around each section and in the columns, which allows us to easily read those sections. You might want to think about if there's featured dishes or some popular choices that can allow or help somebody make a decision. Maybe your restaurant is known for a certain dish. And on your menu, you don't want to offer too many choices per section or it might be overwhelming. And with those menu items, you're going to want to include some item descriptions, which will have the ingredients or how it's prepared. And as we look through these menus, you'll also see that the number and the pricing is very evident. So again, using white space and the positioning allows us to see each of the prices per menu item. Some good font sizes as a guideline would be headings at 20 point plus, item names 14 to 16 points, and body text 10 to 12 points. And this is a small sample of some formatting that's easy to read. Next, let's go to actually laying out the menu. So the menu is an extension of your brand system. So you're going to want to have your logo, use your color palette, and use your branded fonts, so it looks and feels like the brand. When you're laying out your menu, you also want to have a good idea of what categories or sections of offerings your restaurant's going to have. And you might want to just wireframe out, looking at those references, wireframe what are the sections of the content and how might those be spaced out. Maybe you want to think about where might some feature items be. Whether those are called out with a subtle tint of a color. Where might your logo be placed on the menu? Do you want it centered? Do you want it left? Those are a couple of common locations. It could even be on the bottom. So think about how this information is going to live on the page. If you need some help coming up with menu items, you could use ChatGPT. And in this instance, I just requested a sample menu for a soup and sandwich restaurant with descriptions and prices, 6 to 8 items per section. And now I have a good list to work with that I can modify if needed. So I'm going to copy this first section of soups. And here in Illustrator, I'm going to go ahead and delete this wireframe. And with the type tool, I'm going to click and drag a box so I can start adding type and paste in my copied text. So right away, most of the body text right now is 14 point, and since the majority of this text is body text, I'm going to bring that down to, let's start with 10 point font and zoom in. So this is all lumped together right now in a text area. I do need my section heading, which can be separate from that block of text. And let's increase this to 20 point. And looking at my brand fonts, I'm going to use Intertype Bold. So that's nice and easy to read. And then let's just set up one of the item names. And maybe I want to use Intertype Bold again. It is smaller in font size. For item names, let's try 14 point for now. And already I might want to increase this heading size. Depends on how much space we're going to have on the entire page. The body text is already a good size. And before I start formatting the rest of the text, let's open up character styles and paragraph styles. And those are under Window, Type, Character Styles, and Window, Type, Paragraph Styles. Here's a little helper area of how to find each of these palettes we're going to be using. And I happen to have them grouped over here so I can navigate through those quickly. With character styles open, I'm going to start by adding my heading and clicking the plus sign to create a new style. And let's call this one heading. And now if I click into my text box and select this item text, I'm going to click the plus sign again to add, let's call this one item. And selecting this, let's call that could be our natural character style, like all body copy text. So you can name that body text, or if you want it to be item description, that would also work great. And up to you if you also want to create a pricing one. I haven't really styled that yet. You don't really want to add hard returns everywhere to separate your items. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to add paragraph styles. Let's say on our item, let's open paragraph styles, click the plus sign, and I'm going to call this one item heading, or it could just be item again. If I double click on that paragraph style, go to indents and spacing, I'm going to adjust the space after to give a little bit more space between the heading and the description. So for now, let's go with 3 points. And now between the item description and the next heading, I'm going to add paragraph spacing. So let's call this one, double click on this one for the description, go to indents and spacing, and space after. I'm going to want more space. So these read as separate items. Let's do 10 point for now. So that's only applied currently to these two items. As I select them, you'll see that paragraph is highlighted. And when I select the description, that one's highlighted in paragraph styles. Whereas all of these have not been defined yet. So now we need to start formatting the rest of the text. So under character styles, we need to select body text. And under paragraph styles, we might want to be consistent and call this one body text also. So those are The character style is more of the fonts and the font size. The paragraph style is more about the spacing. Now we need to style the rest of this text. So for this item, I'm going to use my eyedropper tool to sample this already formatted item. And you can see when I use the eyedropper, it now knows that the paragraph style is item heading and the character style is item. So I can do that for each of these with the eyedropper, or with it selected, you can manually apply each of those, but it's likely going to be more efficient to select the item and use the eyedropper so it gets both the character and paragraph style together. Now let's look at how we would format these prices using tabs. I want to create a column of the prices that are right aligned so I can easily see them. So I'm going to delete this hyphen, and instead I'm going to hit the tab key before each price. So I'm just hitting the tab key. Now with this whole section selected, go to Window, Type, Tabs, and you might have to reposition this so it makes sense where you're looking. But I want these to be right aligned or right justified. And in this white space above the ruler number, I'm going to click and drag, and you can see this black line moving. This is where my right aligned tab is going to be. And now you can see when I release that those are adjusted. You can also type in a value here. But when I have one tab, they're all nicely aligned. And you do want them all to be selected so that tab is applied to everything. And if you needed to adjust the column width to be wider, you might want to select everything and adjust your tab to be further. I need to pause the video for a second. I had to piece together this video. Naturally, the descriptions of each item was flowing into this column, which makes it harder to read. So what I did is I decided, where do I want this text description to wrap so that I can cleanly see this column of the prices. So choosing an area where I want the text to wrap, I'm going to hit Shift Enter on my keyboard to do a soft return. So if I just hit the Enter key, it's going to create another paragraph or a hard line break. So Shift Enter is going to wrap the text, but keep the same line height. It's not reading it as a new paragraph. It's reading it as part of the description. So by doing this soft return and wrapping the text, you can see this column is formed and much more easy to read. Now, since we do have two prices on this one, we want to distinguish what each of those prices is and make sure that's clear and easy to understand. So maybe for prices, I want to add a character style so it's slightly larger, and I need to add the plus sign. Before I do that, you'll notice that since I modified the body text, it has a plus sign next to it. So if I wanted to redefine all of the text to be larger at this size, then in the flyout menu, I can redefine the character style, and that's going to update everywhere. I don't necessarily want to do that. In this case, I want to add a new character style for price. And whatever color, if I make an update to the color, that's going to be a difference from what I originally set. So if I want all of those items to now be this red color, I can redefine the character style and now they are all red color. Or if I click off of everything, I can double click on the character style to edit it and change the color here. And you may want to add your color palette to your swatches so it will come up as an option to choose from. So selecting your color palette, go to swatches and add a new swatch group. And now if I go back to character styles, character color, scroll to the bottom, now I have, you may make sure preview is turned on. You can see. So now all items will be blue and styled this way. So on your tab character, you can also add leader dots. So with that selected, we've got our right align tab. What if we want a leader dot like this? You could also add a space if you want it to be more spaced out. You can see the format's slightly different depending on where I tabbed. If it picked up the bold style, I might have to copy and paste the formatting so it matches. And continue to apply your styles. The nice thing is now that you have character and paragraph styles is that if I duplicate it, if I copy everything holding down Option Shift, now I can change my heading and change all my menu items and they'll already be styled for me. If I need to update, as I showed you before, let's say we want to update all of the items. Maybe we want it to be larger text. We can see what that looks like. Maybe we need to zoom out and see how our space is looking. Or if you want to change the font weight, let's say in price, we want that to be a little bit bolder. If I double click on it, you can change the font style. And be sure to use your alignment tools. So, maybe some things you want to be centered, but if you are aligning them, make sure to open up your align palette or up at the top and make sure everything's nicely aligned, exact. So I hope this helps with setting up your menu and more dynamically formatting your typography using character and paragraph styles. If this video helped, please like the video and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Take care.